So yeah, I just finished watching the West Ham Wolves game in the Carabao Cup. An absolutely dire performance, I think, for both teams. Look, I mean, there's a reason why I haven't done a fan cam since last season, and well, yeah, look, it's just been really depressing just to be a fan of this club for a really long while now, but yeah, I just I didn't feel particularly. I don't know. I didn't feel particularly enthusiastic from the transfer window, which I think all of us felt kind of the same way, right? And these first few games have been pretty horrendous for us, in the same way as it was last year with Lopetegui, and it just kind of feels like the cycle continues. And that wasn't really spurring me on to do any kind of content or anything like that. But after watching that game tonight, I've I sort of felt maybe I guess compelled to come on here and just share some thoughts with you, because I think there's been enough time now in between the last time that I spoke to you guys and now, and just sort of things to say and whatnot. So if any of you guys don't know me, last year I did quite a few fan cams on the channel. Just want to say thank you to Gio and to Gonzo for having me on and allowing me to do that for you guys. Might do a few more as well this season if I'm allowed to, and if this one goes up, of course. But look, I think I said, yeah, my name's Mark. I've been a West Ham fan for forever. You inherit your club, or it's where you live, right? I live in North Hertfordshire, so I don't live in Essex or anything like that. So I don't remember my first game. I was very, very, very young. But the game I do remember in terms of being the first one as such in my brain was going to see West Ham Bristol Rovers at Upton Park. This was in the League Cup, funny enough. And we won 3-0, and it was in 1995, and so I was 7 at that point. So I'm getting on a little bit now, and I remember a few kids through a quid games as well at the time. I used to get those, but nothing, nothing in particular. But we would. I just remember being up in the Bobby Moore and just it being an absolutely magical place to be, and just taking in the atmosphere and just how loud everything was, and being there with my dad, and it was just a great experience. And you get older and you start going yourself as well, as well as with my dad, and we'd park at the big Tesco just by the North Circular. And walk up Barking Road and stop at a couple of pubs along the way, Denmark Arms and a couple of others. It's just escaping my mind at the moment. And then maybe you might go into the bowling, and if you could physically get in, and just going into there as well when you're young, 17, 18, and just seeing people standing on top of pool tables, singing all the songs and throwing the drinks about and just having a great time. And that was what it was all about for me, and there was a sense of community to it, and it was really something you could kind of physically get involved in. I loved the atmosphere, both inside the stadium and around it, and there was just so much culture, and the songs we'd sing, self-deprecating songs, about hope and smiling through the pain, banter songs about other clubs. Not knowing that, knowing that we're not the hot shit, but poking the bear anyway, and just having a good time about it and getting one over on the big guys. And I loved it. Just players going out there and just giving absolutely everything for the badge. And it didn't matter if you won. All that mattered was just that, you went out there and you gave it your best. And I feel like that sometimes we've just lost a lot of that. And, we really need some of that back. Just seeing the performance tonight and against Chelsea and a lot of times last season just capitulating after one goal goes in. And, And I really felt like tonight, even though we played quite badly, I felt like maybe we turned a bit of a corner, going 1-0 down, getting back to 2-1 up, and then, and then losing 3-2. You see Strand Larsen coming on, and I knew immediately, as soon as he came on, he was going to do us. I thought, to be honest with you, it was going to be a draw and then we'd lose on pens, and then, like 2 goals in 5 minutes or something. It was pathetic. It's just way too late to start making changes at that point, and I fed up of that game. I'm not going to talk about that game anymore. It was a shit game. But yeah, as I say, back to when I was, I was a kid, just going around and just experiencing everything, and just everything that it had to give, that I had to contribute to, and get, even just like the food outside the ground was just different these days. It's just gentrified shit that you get now. Like back in the day, we'd get a rubber burger and whatever it was outside the ground. It was probably better to smack each other around the face with than it was to eat, but it was something, and it was cheaper, and you didn't spend like 15 quid for a fucking shit hot dog. I took my wife and kids to go and watch the Lille game just recently, and it was nice and cheap, and I could convince the wife to go in, and even then, like, you still end up spending best part of 100 quid just to eat. Like, because you can't just go there and get nothing. Like, I mean, maybe you can, I don't know, but it's so expensive. It just makes it unsustainable, Like, back in the days when I'd go in a supporters club and your feet would stick to the floor, you'd meet so many characters around there. People with big old back pieces, West Ham, like all over West Ham till I die. You don't find that no more. The club's just killing the fan base, pushing us all out. All the people that want to sing have been split up. Every time you stand up, you're told to sit down. Get in line. I feel like this whole country has gone that way. I'm not going to get into too much into politics and stuff like that, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Some of it I don't agree with, and I'm not going to get into all of that, but like, it's just, you see a lot of parallels with the stuff that's happening to our club at the moment. Everything's just getting so sterile and so corporate, and we're losing that sense of togetherness. That West Ham United that we used to have, we got none of that now. We're fighting each other constantly. It's depressing, man. It's that kind of thing, isn't it? When you alienate your core audience by bringing all these outside influences in, and they tell you how to run your space. And then they ruin what was good about it. So then they don't even like it anymore. And then they'll all fuck off. And then we'll be stuck in the Championship and no one will be there. We'll have a 67,000 capacity hole in the ground. Let's have 35,000 singing fans at the top of their voices. And now it's a 67,000 fan hollow bowl. Where you feel bad when you stand up and sing. People just look at you and shame you. And that Lille game when you could see everybody in the Bobby Moore Lower, the Ironworks Alliance, going for it. And fair play to you, lads. Well done. And lasses, of course. And and I would try to get up and get the old Mexican wave as it came over the side, and we were getting involved, but people would look at you funny, and you feel a bit self-conscious, and you sit down, you get it's back into the same old silence and sterile environment that we've come to know. It is a nice stadium, but it's not ours. We all know, we've said a lot of times, it's not a football ground. It's not intimidating to away teams. It's not the fortress we need it to be. We're too far from the pitch, too disconnected from the action. No way to influence the game in any meaningful way. Spending loads of money on strikers, but then won't even spend any money on any fucking managers that are any decent. It's sad to be 3 games into the season and starting to think about replacing our manager, but that's where I'm at right now. Just feel sad, guys, about where this has got to. The players I used to look up to when I was watching when I was a kid, and like Ludo, Julian Dick, Steve Potts, Moncur, Hartson, Di Canio. I feel like all I can say now is Souček and Bowen are the only ones that I feel truly love the club that are on the pitch these days. A lot of people have said this recently, and I've got to agree. I just don't see how this gets better, guys. I don't. I think that's, yeah. I haven't got anything else to say, guys. I just, yeah, we're really at a low right now, and you know, I'm looking at the fixtures coming up, and I'm not seeing. I at this point, I can't even see us getting even a point before Christmas. It's absolutely dire, and yeah, I just feel like I'm done. I just feel like I just feel like I'm done.